We've got a few days left in March, and then quarter 1 is over. I'm floored. Like, I'm totally floored. I cannot believe that quarter 1 is over already. Is it just you, see money? Not muted?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, I just want to make sure everybody else was muted. Yeah, we've got a few days left, and it is the end of quarter 1 of the year. Oh my gosh, like, it's nuts. It's insane. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what we've got coming up this year with corporate, but mostly I just want to talk to you about your life, and I want to talk to you about my life, and making your life everything that it can be, everything that you want it to be. There's a quote that I read. Karina, there's lots of noise, so I'm just going to mute you for a second. Oh no, there's somebody else noising. Hold on. Mute all. There we go. Okay, everybody's muted. So there's this quote that I read that kind of got me started on this full life sort of journey. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been doing a ton of personal development over the last 7 weeks. I told you guys a little bit about it last week, but over the last 7 weeks, my dad had a stroke, and it was not his first, but this one he lost his ability to walk and had no sensation left in his legs. My sister went to help out with my dad at the hospital to move him in case he was able to come home. And she is 18 months older than I am. She's 34. And she collapsed in the ER, not in the ER, sorry, in his hospital room, and was immediately, they immediately got her into Emerge and ran a whole bunch of tests. And it was just a few days later when we learned that she has stage 4 colon cancer. And so she's going through treatment. And then on Monday, last week, Monday, 1 week ago, after our team call, I got a text from my older brother saying that the brain tumor that we knew he had it. It's not cancer, but we also knew it was inoperable. We learned that it was beginning to cause seizures, so starting to impact his life. So needless to say, I'm not even going to try to not be emotional today. I have totally been through the ringer, life hurts right now a lot of days. And there was a time when I was like, what's the point? What's the point of getting my workouts in and eating this salad? What's the point? What's the point of what I do for a job at the end of the day? Seriously, what is the point? And then I started to ask myself, what's the point of my relationships? And then it hit me, and I got it. The point is that our life is a gift. Every day is a gift. And so many of us spend so much of it trying to distract ourselves from the things that hurt, or the things that are uncomfortable, or the things that make us feel like we're not enough, or the things that we just don't want to do. We watch too much TV. We get on Facebook, and we just nothing on Facebook. We eat an entire bag of Miss Vickie's because it's a distraction, and it masks what's really going on. And so I got it. I figured it out. The point is to make the most of the gift that we've been given. We have our life. We have every breath that we breathe. And while there is a lot of mundane that happens in those breaths, there's lots of mundane. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that every moment is going to be a groundbreaking special moment. It's not. And that's okay. But the point is to really live it. And that means, to me, to experience all of it, to be present in the moments that hurt, to be present in the moments of joy, I will tell you guys, I was so much more present when I hit 10-star last week than I was when I hit top 10. And the joy I felt from hitting 10-star and the accomplishment that our team collectively made, I felt it. And it was amazing. And it gave me something, whereas when I hit top 10, it was like, okay, what's next? Really? Like I felt it only a little. I don't think there should be a max. I think we've got 100. I think we've got capacity for 100. In any case, but I will check, Karina, in a second when you start talking. I'll check. In any case, I think I get it. Right now my life hurts, and most days are a lot of heavy, but I'm experiencing so much more joy now than I have in a really long time, probably a few years. And so I had a call with some of our diamond coaches last week because I said to them, I want for you to learn all the things that I'm learning without having to go through the things that I'm going through. I want you to benefit as much from what I learn as I benefit from it. And I want your lives to be fuller and happier and bigger and brighter. And I want you to feel the good things and the amazing things. And I want you to feel the crappy things too. I do. I want you to feel it and be in it and grow and get better and build deeper relationships and play full out. So that brings me to the quote that I wanted to share with you guys. I really hope that I did not delete it off my phone because that would be sad. I posted it on my page the other day. Okay, here it is. For a long time, it had seemed that life was about to begin, real life. But there was always some obstacle in the way, something to be got through first, some unfinished business, time still to be served, a debt to be paid. Then life would begin. At last, it dawned on me that these obstacles were my life. And, in the most difficult time that I've ever been through, in the time when my heart hurts more than I thought it had the capacity to hurt, I realized that this is my life. This in the right now, this is my life. And maybe I'm still going to have a debt to pay, and maybe I'm not going to fit into my bikini like I want to, when I go to Punta Cana. Maybe it's still going to be, our schedule is going to be crazy, and, like all of these things. But these things are never going to stop me from really living my life again, and from really stepping like center stage into my life and taking advantage of the whole thing. I will not play small. I will not play small for somebody else. I will no longer feel this like for some reason that I'm not enough. Right? That's not what we were created for. So with that, today we are going to chat with you about, Karina and I are going to chat with you about building a life that is going to excite you, building a life that is going to keep you going, keep you motivated, not keep you feeling happy necessarily all of the time, but a way to tap into your joy, a way to tap into what you really are looking for in your life, and to align your goals, not only your goals, but your strategy for how to get there. Align that with what you really, really want. That is so important. I've been hearing this, I'm overwhelmed so much on our team. And what I want to say to you guys is, there are kids on the call, so I will censor myself. I don't give a care necessarily how much volume you produce as a member of the Fit Republic team. If your goals are income related, business related, cool, awesome. Like, more power to you. Let's get it. And let's create a strategy that helps you to get those goals in a way that is in alignment with how you want to feel in your life and what you want to experience. And let's make it exciting instead of something that like burdens you, right? And if you're here and you don't necessarily want to create a big income, and you're just doing, you're like making those goals because other people have those goals and you're comparing yourself to everybody else. Let's stop it. Let's each one of us do you, and find a way to build a strategy around those goals that gives you more life and more living. So Karina, why don't you go ahead and take it away, and I'm going to go check out my Zoom account.
Hey guys, it's Karina. I'm just muting my phone, sorry, because it's binging at me and nobody needs that. So as we talk about this undoing the overwhelm and how to backtrack out of that or not get caught up in it, because I think that's a lot of times what it is we get caught up in it, in allowing everything to just pile on top of us. Because let's face it, it kind of seems like when it rains, it pours. There's a reason that's a saying. And when it rains and pours all over you, we choose how to react to it. And just like Rose was saying, like, it's okay to feel the bad. In fact, do allow yourself to feel it. However, there's also got to be a way for you to pull out of that and to think about the why behind what we're doing, no matter what it is, what your goal is. Like exactly that for Fit Republic, for my team, it's not about like what I want for you or for my team. It's what you want. It's ultimately what's your driving force. Where are you going? What are you doing? And don't be overwhelmed by those statements because we're undoing that. But that being said, I want you guys to just take a minute to, you can close your eyes if you want to, nobody's like staring at you, don't worry, but to really envision, now this is going to be an envision of your realistic perfect day. Now that doesn't mean like there's birds tweeting in the trees and the sun is shining and everything is perfectly beautiful, because that's not always realistic. But if you could just take a second and envision what your ideal day is. Is it that the coffee's brewing while you're still laying in bed? You hear your kids giggling in the other room. You know what's on your schedule for the day. You hear lawnmowers outside. That's exciting me lately because it sounds like spring. Like, what does your perfect real day for your real life look like? What are you feeling? What are you tasting? What are you smelling? Who are you with? What are you hearing? Because when you think about those things, about that vision for your, it should, it should. I agree. Like, it makes me cry. It gets me, it should make you emotional. Your perfect day, you should feel it. And what we want for you guys to do with that vision is, what's the heart of it? What's the feeling at the heart of the perfection in that day? Is it the feeling of family? Is it the feeling of connection? Is it the feeling of purpose? What's driving that perfect day? Along with that, thinking of your vision for your perfect day. Rosa had recommended this book, and I just started listening to it today. I haven't gotten into it as far as she has, but I was listening to it, and quotes that jumped at me from it was, desire is the engine of creation. That wording, desire is the engine of creation. When you know what you desire, you know what you want to create. You know what you're working towards. And when you're motivated by that instead of your must-dos, because who likes, you know what I mean? Like, I don't love being told what to do. Everybody that knows me well knows that about me. But I do love feeling, and I do love acting on my feelings. So think of that perfect vision, that perfect day. Think of that driving force behind your desired feelings, behind specific relationship in your life, whether it's with your spouse or your children, your desired feelings that go along with that relationship, a parent. Think of a lifestyle. What is your lifestyle that you want to envision? The name of the book, The Desire Map. Thank you, Michelle. I'm like, I forget. But it's by Danielle Laporte, who has another one called The Firestarter Sessions, which is equally amazing. Like, I love this woman. I didn't even know she had another book. But think of a lifestyle. And your lifestyle, you guys, isn't, like, maybe it is the car that you drive, but it can be about the home that you're in, the surroundings around that home, the school that your kids are in, the balance of your bank account. For me, that is a part of it. To me, there is, when I think of my desired feelings, that's what this book ultimately is driven by, is your desired feelings. So for me, abundance, generosity, those are driving forces for me. And that does, for me, come down to a certain amount of income, because with a certain amount of income, I can be as generous as my heart is. I can just do it. So that for me is a driving force. Think of, what was I going to say? Sorry, I'm looking at my words. So my desired feelings that I briefly wrote down, I didn't get to get into it as deeply as I wanted to, but were joy, peace, abundance, genuine. It's critical to me that those are things that are associated with me and that are pushing me forward in my goals. So as she said in the book, she said, desire is the engine of creation. Every desire is a prayer. And without vision, we perish. That's from Proverbs, but she said it in there too. So this overwhelm, you guys, can be deconstructed when you are present in your heart and when you're driven by those desired emotions. Rosa, are you ready? Are you setting something up?
Yeah, I am good to go. Okay, I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper with you guys, and I just wanted to show you, as I'm going through this exercise in the desire map, she asked us to come up with okay, so here's the deal. Any action that we take in life, any goal that we set, anything that we go for, we do it for a reason. We do it because we feel that it's going to make us feel a certain way. So, for example, every woman in the world, it seems like, wants to weigh 125 pounds. I don't understand what this magical number is. I don't know why. Like you're 5'2" or you're 5'8", you want to be 125 pounds. It just makes no sense to me. But for some reason, it's become this like sort of like societal benchmark, you've kind of made it when you're 125 pounds. We all know better, right? But there's this huge, all of these women, they want to be 125 pounds because why though? Because they feel like they will feel a certain way when they hit it. They're convinced they're going to feel confident. They're going to feel comfortable in their own skin. They're going to walk out of the house feeling like Beyonce, right? If they're 125 pounds. But what happens for the most part? You get to 125 pounds and you feel like a sack of potatoes if you haven't done any internal work, right? And you don't feel the way you thought you were going to feel. So either you go back to 150 pounds or you decide, I actually want to be 115 pounds, I don't feel the way I thought I was going to feel. So I'm going to go for something better, right? It's our behaviors, our goals are driven by the way that we are thinking we're going to feel. And so if we reverse engineer that and we figure out how it is that we actually want to feel, if we engineer our goals and our strategies to get there, not just for our business, I'm not talking about just business, I'm not talking about just Beachbody, I'm talking about your health and fitness journey, I'm talking about your relationships, I'm talking about the things that fulfill you and give you the most in your life. If you set your goals, if you strategize, if you live your life based on these things that you want to feel, then it's a life hack. It is a total and complete life hack because you don't have to wait until anything to feel a certain way. I will tell you guys something that I shared with the Diamonds last week that I learned about myself that I did not know. I went for top 10 because I thought my dad would be proud of me. I did all of that work, y'all. Top 10 is exhausting. I did it because I really did. I went to my mom and dad's before Summit. My family was there. It's like, Daddy, I'm going to be speaking at Summit this year. He changed the subject. And then I was like, Daddy, I got into the top 10. It's not over till the end of the year, but I got into the top 10. And he's like, that's not going to last. That's it. And then he changed the subject. And I was devastated. And I never even thought, like, I'm a pretty confident person. I really am. And I never, ever would have, like, thought to myself that I'm a person who needs daddy's approval. I didn't. But it devastated me. It really hurt. It was really hard for me. But I kept going, not because, and I knew at that point, I'm not going to get my dad's approval. I knew it. But I kept going, and it was this engine that was like not even a part of me. There's this ambition part of me that's me. And I love accomplishing something, growing something, building something, and it gives me something. But then there was this engine in me that I felt like I could never satisfy. And it was this sense of I'm not good enough because my dad does not agree with my life choices and what I do. And he does not think that it's good enough. And so this engine, I like go, 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 go all the time for top 10. And in the end, I did it because I thought it would make me good enough, because I had this sense that I wasn't because of my dad. How freaking like typical is that, you guys? Like how basic, you know? My daddy issues. That's why I went for top 10. I'm not saying it was a bad goal. I'm not. It was an incredible learning experience. However, I would have done it so differently if it had been in line with what I really wanted in my life. Do you know what I want? What I want in my life? I actually wrote down what I want to be known for. So this is just in the area of career. I want to be known to the outer world for being a teacher and facilitator of becoming more you and less what other people think that you should be, and of creating abundance in other people's lives. That's what I want. If I had known that, I would have done top 10 so differently. It would have been so much more fun. It would have been so much more beautiful. Do you know what my favorite memory is of my whole business? Of all 4 years, put all 4 years together. My first year that I hit elite, when I hit $2,000 a week, when I got my T4 for $244,000 in 2016, the day I hit top 10, the day I hit 10 star, put all of them together. What's the one that stands out in my mind as the highlight? I was sitting in Mexico on a beach with 13 other women, and I was hurting. And they sat around me, and they loved me, and they drank shots with me. That is the most beautiful memory. That is the most beautiful experience. That is what I want to create more of. That is what I want to create more of. I want to empower other women and men. I want to empower people to be so genuinely themselves, to build relationships that change your life. You guys have no idea how much your love and support has carried me through this time so far. You have no idea. And of all the things in my business, all of them, I thought for a long time. And the one that I could not shake was sitting on the beach in Mexico with all my girls around me, giving me hugs and shots, telling me they love me, making a video for my sister. They made a video for my sister, and everybody gave her a word of encouragement and of like badassery. It was amazing. And of all of the things in my business that I'm proud of, that is what I'm the most proud of, that we have built that kind of community. And there's nothing wrong with wanting something amazing in your life. There's nothing wrong with wanting to pay off your visa or go to Disney or earn more money. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. In fact, I think they are noble. Have you ever heard the saying, rising tides raise all ships? If I am happy, if I am fulfilled, if I am making progress, if I am connected, then I can have more to give. Then I've got more to give, right? So me doing well is a service to everybody around me. It is. There's nothing wrong with wanting material things or financial things. But I'm telling you, I would have run my business in a completely different way. I would have run my life in a completely different way if I would have known that 4.5 years into coaching, after busting ass for 4.5 years, that my favorite memory and the thing that meant most to me of all of those moments would have been that very moment. I would have done things differently. So that's what I want for you. So let's talk a little bit about your core desired feelings. What are your core desired feelings? This book goes through it in a lot more detail than I'm going to go through it with you. But Karina talked about a few different areas of your life. Number one being in your relationships. What do you want to feel in your relationships? Something that I wrote so many words when it came to what I wanted to feel in my relationships. I wrote so many words. And then I made this little distinction. There is a difference between wanting to feel loved and wanting to feel love. Doesn't that feel different? It's like I'm waiting for someone to give me something if my core desired feeling is to feel loved. But if I want to feel love, then that's active. I can do something about that. It feels different. Does that make sense? That's just something I wanted to kind of put out there for you. So in the area of relationships, there are so many amazing things to choose from in there. And just total side note, Carolee and I went for hot yoga the other night. We ended up talking about sex for like an hour after. I'm not sure what happened in there because the instructor was like a super, super hairy dude. And, not someone I would typically be attracted to, but anyway, I really feel like in the area of relationships, if you have a significant other, that bedroom things should be like, that should totally be included in, Lindsay, I know there's something like, I love that topic for some reason. I really do. I feel like I should talk about it more on my page, but then I'm a little bit nervous too. But anyway, there was some discussion on the diamond retreat. Let's leave it at that. So in the area of relationships, I thought in the context of many different relationships, but I'll tell you mostly about my love relationship, my romantic love relationship. My love relationship is 17 years old now. I was 15 when we started dating, and I was 18. We were both 18 when we got married. And my love relationship has been up and it has been down and it has hurt and it has felt like euphoric, mountaintop. And we had some work to do before all of this happened in my life. And so now things have changed, and the amount of work that I can actually handle has very much changed. And so we're still working on things. But this was so wonderful for me to clarify, because for me, my core desired feelings in the area of my romantic relationship, I want to feel love as opposed to feel loved. And that's like, oh, I love it. It's active. It's, I do something, I contribute to that. Love, open and free is a very common theme for all of my core desired feelings in every area of my life. And to feel accepted is very important to me. And that I do fully realize that is waiting for something and wanting something from someone else. Perhaps I should phrase it like acceptance. Either way, that was my word, and I'm going to stick with that word. So think about in your love relationship, how do you want to feel? Describe how you want to feel. Why do you want to feel that way? And this one tends to be not too complicated. In the area of lifestyle, everyone wants to feel successful. Everyone wants to feel successful, and yet very few people actually talk about what that means. So what do you mean you want to feel successful? What would it require for you? What would be required in order for you to feel successful? Do you want to feel like you're at the top of your game? What would be required for you to feel that way? For me, for my career-driven goals in particular, lifestyle is like bank account, career, house, financial situation. How do you want to feel? Just write down, play with it. Write down words that feel wrong. Write down words that feel right. You'll come out with what you actually really connect with. Writing how I want to feel about my financial situation, about the kind of money that I make, about all of like this kind of stuff, my bank account balance, was really very illuminating for me. I realized that recognition is actually not that important to me, which is crazy if you know me. What really resonates with me and makes, so here's a really good here's a really good like litmus test for you. If when you think of a goal, it immediately makes you feel like you've got to measure up to someone else or something else or an ideal, and you feel this weight settle on your chest, that's maybe not the right goal. When I think about repeat top 10, that's how I feel. I feel this weight settle on my chest. I feel pressure. I feel like I can't breathe. No, that's not the right goal for me. When I think about just in terms of financial growth for my business, I connect with that. That excites me because my core desired feelings in the area of lifestyle, I've got a few. One is expansion, which is something that I have to sort of explain. I want to feel like I've got time. I want to feel like I've got time. You could also describe it as peace. You could also describe it as freedom. They're very closely tied together. For me, it's this like expansion. I have space. I have room to breathe financially. And in order for that to happen, then like I'm going to set my goals accordingly. But it's not a recognition-based goal. For me, it's a financial-based goal, because if I were to hit X number of dollars per week, my metric for myself is a very consistent $5,000 a week. That gives me plenty of breathing room, plenty of space for savings and vacations and all of that kind of stuff. And so if I'm there, then it's that like I feel that sense of expansion. I feel that like it would give me that freedom, that sense of abundance in my life. So write down the words in your, like in terms of your lifestyle, career, home, bank account balance, how do you want to feel? And then also in terms of your body and wellness, how do you want to feel? Most of us set goals because we want to be we want to, like, for guys, it always seems like they want to gain inches around their biceps and lose inches around their waist. For girls, it's always like, I want to feel skinny. It's like the go-to always same answer, right? But why though? Why? Why do you want to be 137 pounds? Say that's your goal. Why? Why? How are you going to feel when you get there? Are you sure? So instead of thinking about your physical goal in terms of body wellness, how do you want to feel? I want to have energy, man. I want to have a ton of energy. I want to have so much energy that people don't want to be around me because I have too much energy. They're not going to be my people, obviously, but that's what I want. I also want to feel freaking fabulous when I step out of the house. I want to feel like I look amazing. And that's subjective. It's totally subjective. Right? How do you want to feel? Instead of how many pounds do you want to weigh? Okay, so when you've got that down, it's actually pretty easy to set your goals. Once you know how you want to feel, it's pretty easy to set your goals. What's difficult is when it comes to the rubber hitting the road. I'm going to give you guys some examples. What I want you to do after our call is I want you to take these core desired feelings and I want you to set your goals. What do you want in your life, really? What are the things you're going to go for in terms of your relationships? Oh my gosh, I cannot overstate this. Don't put relationship goals last. They matter the most. They matter the most. My biggest life regret is not answering the phone when my family called because I was working. And it's not like you can't ever do that, but I did it all the time. I'll call later. So don't put that last. Put that first. Set your goals. What do you want to feel like? What do you want to feel like every day? Right? Post them somewhere. Write them with like dry erase markers on your on your mirrors in your bathroom. In terms of lifestyle, that can mean if you have another job besides Beachbody coaching, set your goals. If you have goals in terms of your career as a Beachbody coach, set those goals. And then in terms of your body and wellness, set those goals. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying don't have a goal for how much money you want to make. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm also not saying don't set a goal for how much you want to weigh. There's also nothing wrong with that. What the danger lies in waiting until you hit said goal to feel the way that you want to feel, or relying on hitting that goal to make you feel that way. I can guarantee you something. I will guarantee it to you. If you think that hitting a goal is going to make you feel successful, it is not. If you think hitting $2,000 a week is going to make you feel like a successful coach and then something, it will not work. I swear to you, it won't. And if you're waiting to hit your physical goal before you can be proud of your journey, before you start posting your pictures, before you start sharing. Oh, side note, if you've always wanted to be one of those girls who works out in a sports bra and shorts, all you have to do is literally take off your t-shirt. That's it. That's all. Congratulations. You are one of those girls. Because you can feel fabulous today. You don't have to wait to do that. Because then there's always going to be something else, something that you're picking at. And another reason why you can't take off your t-shirt. Take off the freaking t-shirt. Okay? So the most important part here is that you set your strategy up in such a way that you can feel these core desired feelings, this sense of authenticity. Authenticity is so important to me. So for me, my overall life core desired feelings are number one, authenticity. I don't know why, but it just drives me. It means the world to me. For me to feel authentic and for me to help you feel like you don't have to cover anything up. You don't have to pretend to be different. You don't have to try. You just be you, and that's great, and that's enough, and that's amazing. So authenticity is number one. This sense of expansion. I have time, I have space, I have freedom is number two for me. What else? Oh, energy. I want to feel energetic. I want to feel so very energetic. And then I have two more that kind of a little bit surprised me. I want to feel feminine. That's really important to me. I love to feel feminine. It's a big deal to me. And then number five, I want to feel powerful. I love feeling powerful. I do. I love the combination of feminine and powerful. Lifting weights in a sports bra, just take off your shirt, is my favorite because I feel both of those things. So those are my core desired feelings in my life. When I look at how I'm setting up my life, the time I'm taking for my relationships, how I'm setting up my schedule, the time that I'm taking for my kids, the goals that I have in terms of business, when I'm looking at all of those things in light of the way that I want to feel, I do things differently. So for my physical goals, body, I want to have energy. That's really important to me. I'm not going to starve myself. There's just no way. And I'm not going to completely eliminate every treat. Like, I'm not going to do that, right? The way that I go about it. And the best thing, I put on a cute outfit and some lipstick before I go do my workout, and I feel exactly the way that I want to feel. And I don't have to wait until anything else happens. I feel amazing. And I don't have to be 125 pounds or whatever to make that happen. I want more moments like on the diamond retreat. I want more of those moments. I want that sense. We have this amazing sense of community, and I want more of that. I want to put together some things, put together some groups, some trainings, some things like that, where we get more of a chance to work together because we're amazing people. And just knowing each other makes our lives better. So I want more of that. And the way that I'm setting up my business this year, the way that I'm setting up my goals allows for more of that, more enrichment in our lives as a result of being a part of this community as opposed to just the pressure. And just, you know what? When the rubber hits the road, there are a few things to consider. If you've set a goal for yourself that's going to make you feel successful, or that sense of freedom, or that sense of abundance. If you set a goal that feels big to you and that feels like it's going to stretch you, that's good. I'm not saying that having, your mindset toward these core desired feelings means that you're not going to feel uncomfortable. You are, and that's good for you. That's good for you. That's when you have an opportunity to think about the bigger picture, why you're doing this, and set it up in such a way that you can accomplish that goal while maintaining your soul, while maintaining your relationships, while maintaining the mother that you want to be, the friend that you want to be, the wife that you want to be, the husband that you want to be. You're going to set that up, these big goals that stretch you and scare you and make you better. You're going to set them up in such a way that you can accomplish them, keeping the priority the priority. I read another quote. There's no such thing as work-life balance. You have one life. There is no work and then life. That's bullshit. You have a life. How are you going to set it up? Does it matter if it takes you 5 years longer than somebody else to reach $5,000 a week? Does it matter? No. If you're happy along the way, if you're loving your life along the way, if you're feeling the way you want to feel along the way, you're going to have everything that you could possibly want, right? So set it up that way. I would contend, you guys, it takes 33% longer to get any task done if you're also looking at your phone while doing it. Think doing hair, think doing makeup, think walking down the street, walking to a bus stop, whatever. Take 33% longer if you're also looking at your phone. Quit multitasking, just quit it. I would contend that phone-free time should be the norm, and phone time should be the rare exception in your day. This is the change I would love to see for absolutely all of us. I'm telling you, you're not getting anything done when you're scrolling Facebook. And then guess what happens? This is exactly what's been happening to me as I've been putting away my phone and only on it as the exception. Here's what's been happening to me. Damn, my work is fun. It is fun. I get on my Facebook, I'm so excited to be on my Facebook, and I see what's going on with my girls, and it's fun again. And it doesn't feel like I've been there all day. So I'm telling you, you have to get rid of that addiction. It is, technological addiction is a thing. It really, really is. But when you get rid of your phone, all of a sudden you look around, you realize that everybody's on their phone. Everybody's on their phone. And then you actually start paying attention to things and feeling more things. You're more in tune with how you're feeling. Are you feeling stressed out? You have a chance to actually connect with your breath and check in with yourself and see what's actually going on instead of just input, right? So I'm going to just very strongly suggest that phone free time be the norm and phone time be very much the exception in your day, because I promise you it's giving you something. It's feeding your addiction, but it is not giving you anything that really feeds your soul. Phone time is fun, and it should be fun. It's enjoyable. I love the crap out of it when it is the exception and when I have space and time for it as opposed to it being the norm. Another thing is when you make a change, whether that be in your fitness or your business, and you're like, okay, what do I need to feel successful as a coach? I need to hit Success Club every single month. I'm doing it for instance, and I need to work my way toward Diamond. So sponsor 2 coaches a month, for example. Okay, so say you set up your time like that, you set up your goals like that, you have your power hour at this time every day, you do your workout at this time every day, you start, you're excited, you're doing this. Day 3, you're like, OMG, where is the Ben & Jerry's? This is so hard. Oh my gosh, 4 people said no thank you about my challenge group. I thought that if I just posted on Instagram, everyone would come rushing to me because I posted on Instagram that I'm doing a thing. And then reality hits, right? That this is hard. This is hard sometimes. What is actually happening, what's actually happening in your brain is trying to connect new neural pathways. It's actually creating new pathways in your brain. And you're asking your brain anytime you make a change, whether that is to be phone free, that's hard, or to change your fitness lifestyle, or to change your behavior around your business goals. Whenever you make a change, you're actually asking your brain to change the structure of its cells. That's heavy. That's hard. So when you start to get those, oh, I don't need to do it today, or I really, really need some junk food today, and it is not time for that. When you start to have that happen, you start to have those thoughts happen, you have to understand that that's a positive. Your brain is starting to make changes. You just got to hang in. You've just got to hang in, because it's going to get easier and easier and easier as you go. And my final thought, as the rubber hits the road, you've made your plans, you've made your goals, you've set your strategy in a way that gives you something and that makes you happier and makes you more fulfilled. I want to really encourage you to be present, to be present when it feels good, to be present when you get those messages from challengers or teammates or somebody who follows your page, to be present and to feel proud and to feel like you helped somebody and to feel like you're making a difference. And then I want you to be present when you get a paycheck and to feel proud and to be like, I freaking did that. I did that. I want you to feel that. And I also want you to feel when you get uncomfortable and you do something new and you post something that you're like, oh my gosh, like I want to barf. I can't believe I just posted that. I can't believe I just shared that. I want you to take a second and feel that discomfort. Like feel it right in your guts. Like it's like twisting in your guts. Feel that. Because you're going to get through that discomfort so quickly if you really feel it. And on the other side of it is so much proud and so much badass. So for every goal that you set, for every strategy that you set, I really want to encourage you to stop and to feel it. And in your relationships, this, you know what? Like I said, Chris and I had work to do before all of this life stuff happened. And so I had a lot of moments of stopping and feeling it. And sometimes the feeling of it is hard to do. But on the other side of that feeling it, it's like a rainbow. You have more clarity, right? You have more clarity. You understand what's going on as compared to what you want. And now that I know exactly what I want, it's easier to create that if you really are present in the moments and are feeling those things. Okay, Karina, anything that you would like to add?
Let me just get rid of the lump in my throat, and then I'll... as I'm listening to Rosa, as I'm looking at each of you and thinking about what we're saying, about the words that are being said, about having those core feelings, those desired feelings that drive you. I look on my desk, and I mean, I've got like my picture of my family when I was, there's my brother Tom, my mom, my dad, and we're like, this is like 1986, I think. And I look at that and I'm like, you know, that was a very happy moment. And I've got my daughter and I, and she's got soft, chubby arms, and she doesn't have those anymore because she's 6. And we have to be present, and we have to be driven for our life. Like Rose is saying, this is life. And we don't know how long we have in this life. And every day isn't perfect, but every day is a gift. And if we're not being driven by that, if we're not being motivated by that, we will be overwhelmed. We will be discouraged. We will get depressed. Because it's easy to do nowadays. Really, really, really easy to do. But when you're doing it for the moments, and when you're present in those moments, and your phone, like Rose is saying, is just an aside, like there's more purpose, and there's more passion, and there's more heart. And that's what life is about, is the moments in the heart. So just, yeah, that.
That, yes. And I will reiterate one more time what I told the Diamonds on our last call. I want for you to have the most beautiful life that you are so engaged in. When you come to the end of it, I want you to look back and have so many memories of that time that you did something that made you feel so uncomfortable, that thing that you accomplished. I want you to have memories and moments with all of the people that you love. And I want you to have more people that you love in your life than you do right now. And I want you to learn those lessons right alongside me. I want you to come with me on that. Come with me and really engage in that. Can you imagine, you guys, if we started a movement that was about really, really fully living your life and feeling like you are enough and accomplishing things that fulfill you, right? Can you imagine if that was the movement that we started and it wasn't just about losing 10 pounds? That feels right to me. That feels good to me. And I feel like, and sometimes life deals you a pretty shit hand. But the best thing that I can think to do is to learn the lessons that can be learned and to teach them to you, because what if you never have to go through this kind of situation and yet you live this fuller and happier and brighter and bigger life because you go through this with me and you grab hold of this lesson right alongside me. It is so much more important to me that you have that you have love and you have expansion and you have peace and you have freedom and you have joy and you have relationships like I do, where I do not deserve the amount of support, the amount of love, and it's my other sister calling. Honestly, I feel like I don't deserve the support that I've gotten, but I am just so grateful. I want you to have so much more of that. And regardless of whether or not you contribute to our team in terms of volume and Success Club and all of that other stuff, if that aligns with your goals, you do that to the degree that it aligns with your goals, and I will help you and I will give you the tools to do that. And I will be so happy for you. But I care so much more about your life and your happiness and your fulfillment, your joy, your peace than I do about that. So how about this? Let's go forward into the rest of 2017. Let's know what it is that we want to feel, that what it is that in our lives is going to give us more and allow us to give more. Let's know that stuff. Let's build a strategy around it. Let's stop feeling any kind of pressure based on what anybody else is doing, and let's give it 100%. Let's give that 100%. Love you guys. Have a fabulous week.